Hi, welcome to D&J Wooden Boards. My name is Dave Russell. I wanted to share with you a little bit how we create our boards, and it begins on a computer. We use a program called Accushaper to design our boards. Accushaper is a great utility. It offers you all sorts of different templates, but the first step we do is we create an outline. The outline is, it could be a shortboard shape, a longboard shape, a fun shape, what have you. Here you see a nose walking shape, and that's a fun place to start. In Accushaper, a lot of times when you talk to people about hollow wooden surfboards, surfers who have seen what we do go, "Oh, isn't that the surfboard that looks like an airplane wing?" And indeed it is. We have ribs every 6 to 8 inches, and those ribs are, in the software, is called slices. Now, after you've created your slices and you've messed with your rocker and your top deck, the Accushaper has a shaping room that is super helpful. It helps you you can side it from the back of the board, the front of the board. You can twist it all around. Accushaper used to be free. Used to be open source, but now they've they've made it better, and they've turned it into a $7 subscription, which has more bells and whistles and is still very helpful. After you're done with Accushaper, you want to use a program called Hollow Board Template Maker, and what happens is Accushaper creates what we call a BRD file, or a board file. And the board file needs to be converted into something that can be translated into other applications. For instance, this program turns the BRD file into a PDF, in which you can use a machine like this called a Cartwright, which is basically like the homeowner's CNC machine. Cartwright is basically a carving system. For many of my boards I made, I used to trace the PDFs, and after time I found that I was beating up my wood too much, and it was weakening the wood. But the CNC machine will cut out 1/8 of an inch at a time. It'll cut out it'll make passes at 1/8 inch, a 1/16 of an inch. So it's very delicate with the wood, which means that you can use thinner woods, thinner plies on your ribs, and ultimately that will make a lighter board. So I use what I call a homeowner's CNC machine to cut my pieces. Now, I want to show you what Cartwright software looks like. Before I get to that place, once you have converted your Accushaper file into a PDF, you'll need to convert that PDF into a DXF file that most CAD software will recognize. DXF stands for Drawing Exchange File, which basically tells the CNC or Cartwright to cut along a specific set of lines. In this case, it's the ribs, the stringers, the holes for lightening up the board so you don't have as much of a weight, and the places where they connect, and I'll show you that in just a minute. There's a lot of open source software on the internet that will convert your PDF to DXF. I would steer you away from using anything that is online based, where you send it like an attachment in an email and it comes back, because oftentimes it's got lines that are skewed. If there was any way for you to find some open source software to download on your machine, and be able to run on your machine, you'll get a much better product or end file. Now, this is a screenshot from the Cartwright software, and what I need to point out about this software is that Accushaper does not necessarily offer an opportunity for lightning holes like I put here. I call lightning, not like lightning in the sky, but holes that lighten the frame. Accushaper does, however, or Hollow Wooden Board Template Maker will give you these little slots right there where the rib slides into the spine, or what you might call the stringer. This software allows you to put these holes in there so that you can lighten up the frame. Well, that pretty much sums it up. My name is Dave with D&J Wooden Boards. I want to thank you for taking a look at our tutorial, and I hope this was helpful. God bless.